Welcome to Flesh and Pod, a flesh and blood podcast, breaking down weekly news and notes from the tournament scene, community drama, game strategy, and more. And now, here are your hosts, Darick and Logan.
Hello.
Hello.
And welcome to episode 202 of Flesh and Pod. My name is Logan. I'm your host. Please like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Give us 5 stars if you're listening on something that allows you to rate. I don't even know what that is. Join me as always is our partner in crime, the Black Hole of Ohio, Darick Oswald. No? Oh, sorry.
No, Ohio is a black hole.
We'll get to it in a second. And joining us is our Chargers Chamber of Charcoal member, Xzarus, aka Vinnie. Vinnie, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. A little tired, but I'm doing all right.
You'll adjust. It's fine.
Exactly.
And then with me as always, Darick Oswald. But yeah, Darick, you're gonna have to give me the black hole. I gotta know.
Well, I know that the question is, eventually going to be, what did you do in Flesh and Blood this week?
It is. That is the current question, actually.
The answer is nothing, because my stuff that I ordered that was supposed to be here for the 5K is still in Ohio.
Wow.
Well,
I had to email customer service today and be like, look, it's been over 2 weeks since I placed my order. I get that shipping stuff is is a thing that happens, but when I click on the UPS tracking thing and it tells me it's been in North Baltimore, Ohio, which, first of all, why is there a North Baltimore in Ohio?
Did we need a second one?
No. Why has it been there since October 1st with no updates? So I just assume it's probably gone. They lost it, but I need somebody to fix this. Right? So,
yeah. I mean, stepping up to it right now, it's been 12 days in North Baltimore, Ohio, whatever or wherever that is. So, okay.
I thought I had bad luck. My shit just goes missing. No tracking, nothing, and just gone.
Yeah.
I think it's just my area that's a black hole, but I guess I share black hole status with Ohio.
I would almost rather that there was not tracking info, because then I would just accept that it's gone. But the fact that I know it went somewhere and then disappeared is even more frustrating. I think
that is more tilting.
So so then I was like, all right, well, we had talked about the Japanese hunted stuff last week. I was like, I wonder if I can still find any of that. And I'm struggling to find it. I wanted to order a case of Japanese hunted just because we talked about it.
Yeah.
It might be hard to find now. It's been a little bit, but so we found out what Darick did in Flesh and Blood, which was stare at his fucking mailbox. And then, Vinnie, I know you had talked about it at the open before we started recording, so go ahead, lay it on us.
Oh man, I got my ass pounded this weekend.
Did you play Huntsman?
I did not. I played a good deck.
How
dare you?
I know. Listen, I really want Huntsman to be good, but it hurts me to play. It really does. No, I played Fang this weekend in a surprisingly Fang-friendly room, but I played like shit. Lost to a Levia because of a really bad misplay. I should have won that one.
Oh, yeah.
Should have beat the Syndra.
That's harder.
Syndra's a lot. I feel like with Syndra, my win rate into that's it's like a 55-45, but I mean, Syndra can also pop off for fucking 30 damage in a turn. So
sure.
I lost the mirror by I drew a hand of blues late game. I was like, well, I'm fucked.
Why are there blues in your deck?
I don't run many. Blues are literally just smooth out early game turns, and they're also stuff like exposed, tip off, basically for mark an early pitch. I think I run 9 blues.
That's a lot for Fang.
It usually doesn't come up the fact that it came up at all, that I drew 3 blues in one hand. Shocking. And the game that I actually won, my deck decided to completely brick. I never had my fealty online, and I beat a friggin' Ocilio. Yeah. I was like, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take beating the
Okay.
wizard. But yeah, the matchup spread was like, it was like 3 Syndras, 3 Fangs, a Kasai, a Florian, a
Kasai is
Verdant.
free, by the way.
Oh yeah. That Kasai shit all over that pro quest.
Really?
Like that Kasai, that Kasai player was nasty. Our that pro quest was surprisingly stacked. Like I walked in the room, I see a guy in the corner, and I look at my roommate and I go, "We're fucked. That's Pheno Black over there."
That was one that Fina was at. So
Yeah.
you were the pro quest that the finals opponent conceded because he wanted to play more pro quests.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. No, like it's funny. Like I've got like 3 or 4 people in my locals that are all part of like the AGE New England tour.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and like they're just, yeah, I show up at my locals 03 and go home, have a good time. But like they're all great, so I'm okay losing to that.
No, it's understandable. I actually did also play in a pro quest this weekend, but one of the listener question relates to the pro quest I played in, so we'll just go ahead and save that story for the end. But yeah, I did have a good time though, and I did play Kasai, and it felt good. I got to play one pro quest this year, or this season, so whatever. Because I'm running the local one this weekend, and then the weekend after that I'll be drunk in a parking lot and can't be bothered to play Flesh and Blood. But priorities.
Yeah.
It turns out that Flesh and Blood just turned 6 on October 11th.
Ooh.
So it's been 6 years of this game so far, which is that's a pretty big deal, honestly. Making it past 5 for most games is kind of the litmus test, and this one just hit 6 without a slowdown. So that's a pretty big deal in general. But because of the anniversary and to kind of commemorate the game, that we have a podcast for 202 weeks around still being here, even though Charmer has tried to kill it any number of times at this point just by being on this show. I kind of wanted to go over, because we've had a lot of new listeners over the course of the last couple of years, since probably the last time we talked about this. And we also obviously have a new guest in Vinny on the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of just want to do the whole, what's your Flesh and Blood origin story? And honestly, Vinny, because I don't know yours, I kind of want to start with you. Like, how did you get into this shit?
Because my asshole roommate. So anyway, I was out of TCGs for a long time. Like, I sold out of Magic in like 2015. I was like, fuck this game. This is so far removed from the game that I fell in love with. I'm done with it. Sold everything. Didn't really play. I played a little bit of like Star Wars Destiny when that was a thing. That went tits up. And I remember being in a game store, seeing my local game store get a copy of like the intro kit, with the Ira welcome deck,
Mm-hmm.
the play mat. I remember seeing that and I was like, oh cool, another fucking trading card game. Out of sight, out of mind. Didn't even think of it for another like 3 or 4 years after that. My roommate comes home one day and says, hey, I kind of want to play a trading card game. I got a couple of like $5 Magic decks. Do you want to play? And I was like, not in this fucking house. I'm done with that shit. Let's play something we've never played before. We stumbled across Flesh and Blood. We bought the Monarch Blitz decks, played like 6 games and never looked back.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty common story, honestly, of how people kind of stumble into this. And we'll get to kind of some meaning behind that a little bit later too with other news of the day. But Darick, I think people have only gotten your sort of Flesh and Blood origin story in bits and pieces. You never kind of deep dived it on this show, although we've talked about it dozens of times. So you want to just give them the cliff notes or the long version? I really don't give a shit. You can just do whatever you want, honestly. You can lie to them too. I won't call you out.
It was Memorial Day weekend, 1984, when I came into this world.
That's accurate, honestly.
And then some time went by, and my good buddy Matt, aka Cosmic, who is another content creator, he was here local in Michigan, and I had been pestered from another friend of mine, Blevins. So when I was covering Legends of Runeterra and doing casting, Blevins is another person who casted Legends of Runeterra, and he was like, hey, you should try Flesh and Blood. Like it's actually a good game. And this was like right around the time that the pandemic was like kind of getting close to easing up, and we knew that like events were going to start being a thing. And I was like, okay, I miss seeing people in person and I want this excuse. So Blevins talked me into it, and then he was like, hey, like we have a group chat. I'm just going to add you to it. And Cosmic was in it. So I connected with Cosmic. I was like, hey, just come over to my house and teach me the game. So he came over. He brought some Blitz decks and kind of the same thing. Like once I played the game and I like understood the mechanics, I was like, oh, I really like this. I like that there's almost no dead cards ever. Like obviously there's always going to be those exceptions with any card game. Yep. You set a foundation and then you break the rules of said foundation. Like that's card games in a nutshell. But for the core of it being like, you have this 4-card hand and every piece is like a different piece of the puzzle, right? It's, well, this could be resources, or it could be damage, or it could just block with it, or, like I just really, really liked that design. And so then I was like, all right, like I like it enough to buy into it, and went to, I think my first calling was the first like big Tales of Aria sealed calling. Like it would have been Cincinnati. Yeah. So I was just going to say, I think so. Like I had done locals or whatever. But like my first real event. So again, like the entire point of this was, all right, I want an excuse to like see people in person. Right. So Blevins was going to be in Cincinnati. Casanova was going to be in Cincinnati. All these people are going to be in Cincinnati. So I was like, all right, I will just go to this event, and it was a blast. I only mention it because I think like that probably they weren't doing world premieres then, but that like would have been like the equivalent of the world premiere at the time. It was the first big like Tales event.
No, Vegas, they did a world premiere for Aria.
Did they?
Yes. I don't
remember that there was a world premiere for Aria, but
I believe that so there's a calling in Vegas that also had a Tales of Aria sealed involved prior to Cincinnati. So calling Vegas 2021. So I'm going to we're Googling at the same time. It's going to be great.
Yep.
Doing it live.
Do it.
Yep. World premiere calling Las Vegas.
Yep.
Yeah. I went to the Cincinnati one.
I was there too. So I wasn't in Vegas, but I was at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And that's actually, this show was born at that calling. That's one of the fun parts, is where Flesh and Pod was born. I
went to like 3 events that year. I can't remember if Cincinnati was also the one that Majin.
That's where known cheater Caleb Van Patten, I think, comes from. Actually.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I feel like that's the one where Majin was learning how to play as well.
Yep, I'm pretty sure.
That was also the one where like the night before the calling, we were all talking about different limited strategies, and I had sold the rest of the people. I was like, look, like obviously Briar is the
nuts
thing.
Yeah.
Right. But I was like, if you get to a draft portion, I think that like Lexi can be really good, and here's my reasoning why. And everyone else that I told my reasoning to like was able to turn that into like event wins,
Positive
and then
results,
it never,
yeah.
never worked out for me.
No, I
feel like I was onto something,
listen,
but
I played. It took me over a month to draft something that wasn't Lexi. I drafted. Everybody else was cutting Briar, cutting Oldham, and I would just be the only Lexi player at a table. And usually getting to the finals and playing either against a Briar with, multiple Bramble Sparks and, kind of the nuts, or a Winter's Whale. The fuck you gonna do?
Yeah, my whole thing was like red. What is it? Heaven's Claws.
Heaven's Claws is the lightning.
Yep. I was like, red Heaven's Claws is just E-Strike in limited.
Close.
I was like, if you're playing Lexi and it goes in your arsenal, that's now like a 1-for-5 with go again, because you just do the thing. And they were like, oh yeah, that's really good. I was like, I know. And when nobody's taking them, it turns out it's really good.
Yeah.
Yep. And that I remember that. I mean, I loved that calling. I had so much fun.
It was a good time.
But yeah, mine's a pretty easy one. I, much like Vinny, was a Magic player that was just done. And the number of products, watching what they were doing with like collectors, boosters, everything else, and working on the vendor side of it, I was just like, I'm out. Like, I'm not doing this. And so I was kind of looking for something else, but not actively. And a buddy of mine who was a Magic player and a huge Magic collector really kind of looks at the game as, get games in general as a way to kind of like funnel money. He's really good at that part. But not in a super predatory way, just hey, I think this card's good. I'm going to buy a bunch of copies of it and hopefully it spikes. Okay, it spiked. I'm going to sell them now. And that's it. Doesn't hoard cases, doesn't do any of that. If he buys product that's sealed, he'd speak to play it. And even when he buys like other cards, it's usually to build like decks from bygone eras to play, with friends. And so he reaches out to me and he's like, hey, have you heard of Flesh and Blood? I'm like, I know it's a card game and I've heard of it. And he's like, oh, do you know if they play it locally? I'm like, I don't know. Let me look on Facebook of all fucking things. And so I look on Facebook. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a thing called an armory tonight. I don't know what that is, but it says draft. And that sold me immediately. Draft. And so we show up. It's Tales of Aria Draft. Or not Tales, sorry, WTR Draft. And I draft Dory and go 2-1. And I'm like, without knowing how to play the game, like just learning the game 10 minutes before the draft starts. I'm like, okay, I can pick this up. This makes sense to me. And so started like doing a little bit of research and found out about Chain and went, oh, this is Dredge. I do like Dredge. And so built Chain. Before I ever got to play Chain in a premier event, Seeds of Agony got banned. So now I have this deck that I don't know what to do with because shit ain't legal. And so I'm like, well, now I have two options. I can either quit or I can buy everything. So I bought everything.
Yeah.
And that's how it all started. Funny enough, like a couple weeks later, Jordan Kennedy on Twitter posted something about Flesh and Blood, about going to Cincinnati or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'll see you in Cincy. And then immediately get a text message because we hadn't spoken in a couple of years. Wait, you play this fucking game too? And I'm like, yeah, it started like a month ago or whatever. He's like, sick. He's like, we'll talk in Cincy. And then obviously that turned into this show. So yeah, it was a pretty, it's odd to me, and I guess we're going to skip some steps here, but it's not odd to me. I think it's common that, you two started at Blitz. I think that Blitz was the launch point for a lot of, I guess I'd call them the old heads of the game. Mm-hmm. So anybody that started playing this game 2 years ago or before, or maybe even 3 years ago and before. And I think almost everybody in that pile started with Blitz. And now we're seeing Blitz get pushed aside. It's getting effectively retired as any sort of competitive format. It no longer will be viable for skirmishes and above. So there'll be no more Blitz callings, no more Blitz skirmishes, no more Blitz RTNs, no more Blitz ProQuests, although they're rarely Blitz ProQuests. So starting with, let's start with you, Vinny. How do you feel about Blitz going away?
Mixed feelings. There's some heroes that I would like to see get represented in CC, and we're seeing more of that now with like, because I was a big Arachne solitary confinement player for a hot minute, and we kind of got that with Slippy. Wording aside,
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough. Exactly. I'd like to see a Quicksilver Prodigy in CC. Because I have all the Dory stuff. I have a fully foiled Dory deck sitting right next to me.
Why? Why do people make bad choices?
Because you're just sitting there flipping online. You're like, you know what? I could just buy all this foil. This is
it's
easy.
True, actually.
I'd like to see some of like the more niche picks, like the merchants, or maybe even the bards, like get a CC version or get some level of support. But I understand why. Like the fan base doesn't really want to interact with it. And whenever I bring it up, everyone's like, why would you play Blitz? We can just play CC. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I have like 6 CC decks ready to go. The only Blitz deck that I have is my Silver Age Viserai ready to go. That's it. That's all I play. So now all the Blitz stuff that I would have played, it's going to be teaching tools from now on. So nobody really wants to interact with it. Once they get a taste for Blitz, they're like, oh, what other formats are there? So
yeah, that's kind of the experience locally here too. People just don't really want to play Blitz. If you schedule Blitz, people don't show up, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. Darick, what are your thoughts with Blitz going the way of the dodo?
I'm torn because I like the format, and I think that it's a great like time capsule, especially to some of those like early periods of Flesh and Blood. But obviously we got to wait and see what's coming with Silver Age, and I suspect it will be some evolution of what Project Blue was, and so on and so forth. But I do think that when you look at what I think was intended to be, right, which is, of course, like that kind of onboarding thing, I don't think that Blitz, as it has been for the last year or so, is the right format for that. And so rather than just keep it around because it's always been around, I think really just transitioning, because then you can have products tailored for it, you can have design choices tailored for it, etc. I think that that's probably the right move. I do, however, the same way that Living Legend was supposed to be your fun format where you could always play all your old things, I would still love there to be random, even if it's just side events or whatever, just like random events that still just run like true old school Blitz. But
I think those will still exist.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that unfortunately the number of us that actually enjoyed Blitz is just too small. And I think that that's the other problem, right? I think that when you look at this, there's going to be people like me that liked it, but I think there's also just going to be a lot of people that are like, I'm sad to see it go because they have certain memories tied to it. But they're also the same people that if you were like, hey, there's a Blitz event, they would probably skip it. You know what I mean? Nobody outside of a very few people, nobody was like, run Blitz at Worlds, you cowards.
Outside of us.
Right. That's what I mean. So
for me, it's I get it. I haven't really. So it used to be like when I first started, it was limited was 1, Blitz was 2, CC was 3. In my preference, because I love limited to this day. Even bad, I'd rather play bad limited than good constructed half the time. And then Blitz, Kasai, Centauri, Soulsword existed. And after Everfest specifically, when I got blood on her hands, I just you couldn't keep me away. And then when Kasaya LL'd in Blitz, I switched over to Briar and played that until she got LL'd, and then was like, I don't have anything I want to do in Blitz anymore. And that's where Blitz kind of sank on the rankings to me to below LL, below Living Legend. And I don't know that I've played a game of Blitz in the last year outside of like maybe popping an armory deck with somebody or playing like Smash Palace or something like that where they're technically Blitz decks. I don't know that I've played a game of Blitz in the last year, maybe even the last year and a half. It's been a while.
Another issue I thought with that I found with Blitz is like people complain just as much about the cost of Blitz as they do with CC, because when you look at it, it's usually like what, 20 cards less? Yeah, it's 20 cards less. It's 40 instead
it's 35 cards less, right? Because it's 45 instead of 80.
But oftentimes when you do a tuned Blitz list, it's almost as expensive as it is to just build it for CC,
right? Because you still use the same equipment,
you're
and
using the
all
same
the
equipment, same cards, and it's like, so how is this like when you hear people say like, oh, this is a casual format or it's a cheaper format because there's less cards? Like, no, it really isn't. My Quicksilver Prodigy list for a short while was worth more than my CC Dory list because it had Valiant Dynamos.
Oh, sure, yeah, that would do it.
So,
and that makes sense, but like, while I'm sad to see Blitz go, like I understand why Blitz is going, but it is getting sent off in style, which we'll round back to here shortly. But first I want to talk about ProQuest Week 2. So I don't like this, that they switched over to using percentages when they talk about wins, but I think that's definitely a strategic choice on the part of the team at LSS. Seeing the numbers of wins sometimes is very striking, but they went to a percentage-based system. However, it still doesn't look great because Verdance won 21% of ProQuests.
Crazy.
Syndra won 19% of ProQuests, so that's taking up 40% of your share in one shot. No one else hit 10. Like, no other hero hit 10. You have KO, Gravy, and Ocilio at 7, Dash IO at 5, and then a whole bunch of 4s. And then other is 6%. So when you're looking at these types of numbers, it starts to point to issues, right? Like right now, if you look at during the Super Slam season, I don't know if do you guys have, okay, we'll play the game. Do you guys have FaBTCG Living Legend leaderboard pulled up? Please don't if you don't.
I don't.
Nope.
Okay, great. Verdance has the most points gained during Super Slam season so far. How many LL points is that? Bear in mind, she is currently a 1X hero.
Saw this one earlier. I will refrain. I already know. I think I know the answer to this one.
All right.
So she was what, 21%
of this past week.
Of this past week. So she is gained.
And this does count Battle Hardened and Calling wins.
Oh, I don't know, probably 240, 250 points, something like that.
You are fucking good at this. 239.
Yep.
Okay.
Now who's Syndra is second. What's the number?
Well, it's going to be less because it's not calling in Battle Hardened wins, right? So second, I'm going to say, let's say like 160-ish.
96.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe she had like a Battle Hardened or something in there, but
she did. But
are those not?
Right. Yeah, she's on the half point scale.
She's on a half point scale still.
That's
the
part okay. I think I would have felt better about my math otherwise.
Right. Yeah, because it'd been half again for the most part, but actually no, just straight up half again. So you would have added 48 points to that and been at 144. So that's a big share for two heroes.
Yep.
And while I don't I was pretty confident going into this weekend that there would not be any CC changes prior to Worlds. I'm rethinking that a little bit. If this is the life we're living, it might just be that they have to take a bite out of one or both of these decks. Charma, let's start with you. Do you think that we are looking at concerning numbers yet, or are we still in the wait and see mode on these?
This is going to make me sound like a bit of a hater because
you're always a hater.
We just had two heroes that put up, similar numbers, but I don't think that the story is the same personally. I think Verdance, if there was going to be a change, I would, and it was only one of them. I think Verdance, something there would make sense. And my reasoning would be that I am of the opinion that Syndra makes sense to do very well into some of the other heroes that had, prior to some of the last changes been doing very well, right? So like your Gravies, whatever. It makes sense for her to have that come up. But the issue is that Verdance with the healing can still do pretty well into Syndra, but also Verdance very directly also holds down several other decks that I think could do well into Syndra, right? So your Victors, your Bravos, your Jarl builds or whatever, that are going to punish that go wide strategy. They just suck balls in Verdance. Like I'm just going to be honest. Like
it's accurate. They do.
It is like you can sideboard however you want. I remember playing a lot of games against Majin back when he was like on Icelander and I was on just Bravo, and you could go with like your E-Strikes, your Zealous Beltings, your Rouses and try to race them. You can't even do that against Verdance right now. Nah. Right? Like
she starts at
even
40.
If you can bring AB3, but she starts at 40 and she's going to heal, let's say it's like a mediocre game and she heals 10 whole life, right? Like you cannot race that and come out on top.
Yeah.
Now you could maybe, right? So like you could maybe do like an AB3. Oh, I mean, if you wanted to be a real masochist, you could run like AB5 or like AB4 plus Tunic, right? Like you could bring in the Lantern and a Hammer, run your Tunic for like your free resource for either more AB and or Oasis Respites in the board. And then strictly just play Fatigue because most Verdance decks I don't think have enough physical to push through that. But then you also have to, one, be willing to deal with that, right? Like when you play those long games, especially over a long day, it can be frustrating. And two, there's no guarantee that like your Verdance opponent will understand, okay, this is for sure going to be a fatigue game. And now you're racing the clock, right? So there's probably ways that you could shore up the matchup. I just don't know that it's like enough on a scale. So I would not be surprised if at a minimum there's something done to Verdance just to maybe try to and it's not even just like the Victors and whatevers. We also had, 2 new Guardians just added in the most recent set. And like, I'll be honest, there's no incentive to really play either one of them right now if Verdance is going to be, 21% of your Victors there because, I mean, what are you even doing? Like maybe you could play Lyeth because of the one cool thing, right, about Lyeth is that your AB is still full value.
Oh yeah, it is.
So, yeah.
So when you pitch there, right, like you can gain a lot. Your blocking is still a little suspect and there's all sorts of other things that I think people would need to figure out. But again, it's, in my opinion, it's just one of those things where I don't know if there's enough in the other matchups to make it worth your time. So this is my long-winded way to say I expect perhaps something to happen to Verdance, but would not be surprised if they both get some sort of nudge. But I think Verdance is holding down more of the like general meta. And I think that personally, I think Syndra's just kind of punishing the field because we just had a new set and there's a lot of people trying new things, right? Like there's people trying to make RKO work. There's people, there's pet decks right now. It's not like quote unquote serious Worlds time yet.
Vinny, what do you got?
Well, let's just get the Syndra. So I was flipping through Blue Sky and I just see this. I was right about flick knives. Hashtag ban flick knives.
Oh, fuck
No.
off.
Yeah, fuck off.
Who is this? Who is this?
It was Flesh and Bad.
Oh, I mean, sure.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with Syndra because, like, Syndra feels like a winnable matchup. Like there's ways through it. Sure, she can push a lot of damage, but it doesn't feel oppressive. It doesn't feel unwinnable.
It's not Art of War Zen.
Yeah, exactly. Like I lived through that. It was awful. Like I faced in my locals, like 2 people played Zen and was like, oh great.
Cool.
Good game.
Just kill me whenever you get
You
a
know,
chance.
Yeah. Verdance. I don't have a whole lot of wizard players in my area, so I haven't
Lucky
had a
you. Okay, I need to move.
Yeah, Southern Maine.
Southern
Nobody plays
Maine?
with. Yeah, nobody
Is that a
plays with.
state?
I mean, believe it or not, we are not a part of Canada.
God, you wish you were.
Every fucking day. But yeah, I don't have enough games into Verdance to really say yay or nay, but clearly, you look at the percentage there and there's something there's an argument there.
Yeah, I think your issue with Verdance is there's nothing that I don't think there's anything you can take from Verdance that also doesn't take from Florian that that makes it still a viable hero and doesn't kill it outright. I do think that it's winnable. I think that the deck is probably the most consistent deck that exists right now, which is why people play it between that and Gravy. But Verdance is much more explosive. It attacks on the axes that it attacks on is different, and people can present a different Verdance list to you and you just don't know the difference until the game starts. They could be all of a sudden you're like, okay, so bring in some extra AB, be ready with some extra blues, and then they're just like cadaverous tillings and every decomposed attack you can possibly imagine that's any good, and you're like, well, fuck, I needed like D-Reacts into this matchup. And then you're like, okay, I'm not gonna get suckered again. You put in your D-Reacts, and then they're like, oh yeah, only attacks I play are felling and plow, and everything else is burn. And it's like, then I'm fucked there. All right.
Yep.
And in bigger events, that just gets conquered by scouting. But in smaller events like ProQuest, that really doesn't work. So, and a lot of these also play it in very switchboard styles where they can present one or the other out of the same deck. So I think her consistency and versatility is probably the part now that's roughest. And also the addition of Light Up the Leaves is egregious. That's part of the problem. Is having another 6 damage arcane spell on top of Burn Bears is a lot.
Yeah. 6 Burn Bears sucks.
Right.
Straight up.
So I think that's kind of where you're at. And that's the problem. You take Burn Bear, it takes something from Kano. So it seems like the only thing you can take out of Verdance is Light Up the Leaves, which is a card that was just printed.
Yeah.
So that feels rough too, but we'll see what they do. I personally would like them to not do anything, but I could understand if they choose to. Some quick honorable mentions here. We had 4 heroes get off the schneid this past weekend, so congratulations. Our favorite cuck, the KO underhanded cheat, KUC, the cuck, RKO to others, got a ProQuest victory, as did Marlin Treasure Hunter.
Oof.
Good work there. Puffin Hightail. Ben,
that one surprises me.
And that wasn't even Ben. Ben did win one on Max, though.
Holy shit.
Max the Hype Nitro has 4 living legend points this season, 2 of which belong to Jimny Ben, aka Ben in our Discord, avid listeners. So Ben, you're a psychopath. But Puffin, one of the Cup of TCG team members, took one down on Puffin in a Puffin mirror in the finals, mind you. So no matter what, Puffin was winning that bitch when it got to the final 2. And also, Valda's Seismic Impact took one down. That leaves on the bench, waiting for their firsts, Lyeth Goldmane, Vile Savant, Pleiades Superstar, and Tough Nut Bumbling Hulkster. Those are your 3 that are currently at 0 living legend points. We might get a full board soon, honestly. I think that all 3 of those heroes have a shot at winning something in the right gem lottery.
I think the last 2 to get living legend points are going to be Tough Nut and Lyeth, just because like I feel like those 2 they present a pretty difficult deck building consideration because, Tough Nut's only got the 3 intellect. I know he can block tall once. One time.
It does a great job of it though.
Yeah, does it? Yeah. I blocked that 1 dagger.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
Yeah. And Lyeth not being able to block for shit, like you got to find a way around that. Plus, you're essentially fatiguing yourself by drawing 5 cards instead of 4. You're going through your deck 25% faster than anybody else.
Yeah.
That's so
hard to do.
Yeah. So I think they're going to be a while before they get on the board, just because that's going to be a tough nut to crack.
Yeah, you can go to timeout. I do want to touch on Living Legend really quick because this Living Legend board is fucking hilarious. You had Viserai Rune Blood at 25%. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decks at 12.5%. What you're trying to tell me is you only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pro quests, or whatever for Living Legend that were Living Legend. But Viserai at top, and then Bravo, Briar, Aurora, Dash, Chain, and Kano all representing the 12.5 percenters. So, good job out of those, I guess. Moving on. We did get confirmation that we'll see Dromai coming back in 2027. We are all hoping that the meteor strikes Earth before that happens, so that we don't have to live through that. At least that's my take on it. I don't know how anybody else feels about fucking illusionists. Actually, I do know how Darick feels. He also hates them.
I actually, like, if I'm gonna play against one, I would rather it be her. She was the most palatable of the bunch. I will give her that. And like, let's be honest, Mara never gets anything that goes her way, so I suppose she deserves it.
Wow. I would like to refute that, but it's getting harder. I mean, Mara's lucky. Mara doesn't have like the travel problems that everybody else has. But yeah, her just basal luck has not been great, especially in the tournament scene as of late. But Mara be Mara, she's just gonna hold out till 2027 to get her girl back, I guess. Nothing, Vinny.
Yeah,
you're just like, well.
Like I'll just dig my brutes out again. Because I hate I play terrible. I main warrior and brute because I hate myself.
It is also good always to remember that Blood Follows Blade is just on hit, it doesn't have to hit a hero. Hitting a dragon does get you an ally to attack another dragon.
I do like that.
The set code for testing, I thought that was interesting, is Lotus though, so that could be interesting. Theoretically, as we could see a Mistveil crossover with with Dromai and crew invading, but we'll have to see. Draconic versus Mistveil would be pretty, or versus Mystic would be pretty interesting. We did get the announcements for Skirmish season 13, which will be the last Blitz season for Skirmish. It is all Blitz. There is no other choice. It'll run from November 29th to December 14th. The winner will get a Marvel Bravo Flattering Showman. Cool. And there's another one in the kit as a random prize. And then the top 2 prizes are Cold Foil Everbloom Lives, which will be $1 billion. Yep. And then top 4 are Rainbow Foil Extended Art Herald of Sekhums, which can just go into a bonfire. And then playmat, there'd be a random playmat for a spot prize. So pretty good kit, honestly, for a skirmish kit. I think they've learned some lessons and have been making better prizes. Like the prizes for ProQuest this season, with swing bigs and overcrowdeds is really good. So yeah, I think that's really interesting. Any thoughts on Skirmish? Are you guys going to, well, not Charmer, but Vinny, are you intending on going to pick up one of these skirmishes at least?
It depends on how far away they are. Like last year, we had one at my local store. That was like 5-10 miles away, but most events are like minimum 60, 70
Sure.
miles from here. So we'll see how close it is. New Hampshire and Mass usually get quite a few, so we'll see.
The Pacific the Atlantic Northeast is a fucked up place.
Yeah.
But I would live there. It's better than Iowa. Well,
don't listen. Portland, Maine, it has all the craft beer you could ever want.
Yeah, but the problem is the Portland, Maine craft beer scene is worse than Iowa by like That's fair. Factor. That's the only thing about Iowa outside of cost of living is, dirt cheap because the economy's shit. Is we are a fucking haven for craft beers apparently because we have numerous gold medal winning breweries in Des Moines alone.
Yep.
So it's like, and I'll go, like when I travel, the thing that I'm usually the least impressed with anywhere I go is the beer. I'm like, where's my Confluence? Like, where's my Lua? Like, where's the shit that I want to drink? And it's not here. Where's my Keg Creek? Like Keg Creek is not even like a top 10 brewery in Iowa. And I would rather drink most of the things from Keg Creek than the best breweries in other states. So Iowa's wild for a craft beer scene, to be honest. We do have merch, by the way. So if anybody wants merch, you just go to gamergoblin.gg and get merch. If you've ever seen, and it's over there and I don't want to go grab it, but if you've ever seen the satchel I carry around, that is a Flesh and Pod satchel bag, like messenger bag, there are limited numbers available. If you are interested, send me a DM on Discord and we can talk about that. But they're not going to go up for sale, I don't think, on the website directly. But if it is something you are interested in, please send me a direct message so that I know. Well, Vinny, you get your opportunity.
Oh, man. I had
whatever you want, buddy.
I was trying to like think about this. It was I was like, hamster on the wheel, like, the gears were turning. I was like, what do I want to talk about? What's on my mind? Like for a while, I was like, maybe I'll like just poke the bear, get Charmer to talk about like some of his hot takes and like just kind of feed into that. See how we can kill the podcast now with Charmer's hot takes.
Hasn't worked yet.
Oh, God damn it. But yeah, that was just it. Like, so then I was like, you know what? I know what I want to bring up. I want to bring it back a little bit. So a while back, I talked about action. I had a listener question about action movies.
Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah. So like, I want to talk about action movies. Like, I know this is a Flesh and Pod.
No, action movies is great.
Let's go action movies. Let's do it because I like how people like horror movies, action movies. That's my jam. Like, the shittier the one-liners, the better. Like, Arnold is no joke. Like, my favorite fucking actor. Like, are you kidding me? Commando? What a phenomenal
What's
movie.
Your last action hero take, though?
I don't hate it.
You shouldn't. It's a fucking genius movie.
Like, is it great? Is it his best movie? No, not by a long shot. To me, I put like Predator on like a fucking pedestal. I love Predator. And then right behind that is probably
Running Man.
Running Man probably has the best one-liners. I would say in terms of quality, Total Recall. I love Total Recall.
You just like the three boobs. Yeah.
Well, okay. I like Paul Verhoeven.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay.
Like he's like he also did RoboCop and Starship Troopers.
Yep.
And all three of those movies are phenomenal.
Casper Van Dien's best work.
His only fucking work.
Sleepy Hollow. He was in it.
He was in it.
He gets his head lopped off. No, he gets bisected. Yeah, he gets bisected.
Yeah. But man, like I would have to say like Predator is probably my favorite Arnold movie. But like I also love the real deep cuts. Like I brought up Equalizer 2000.
God, what a great fucking flick.
Young Robert Patrick.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And like the best gun in movie history.
Now, so I would have to say that there was a lot of action movies that came in the 2010s that sort of were spoofs, and I'm not talking about, you know, the stupid fucking franchise with Stallone and what was it? Had Stallone, had
it was
Lundgren.
that
Expendables.
I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about like the good, like Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh, love Hobo
which
with a
is
Shotgun.
Absolute cinema gold.
Well, it's funny. Hobo with a Shotgun, the director for that, whose name is escaping me right now, his favorite movie is like some weird kung fu movie from the late 80s, Ricky O.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love, like, and you can see his like that influence on his style for Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh yeah.
It's, oh God. Like how the blood just looks like oil paint.
It's Jackson Pollock blood splatter everywhere. It's fucking amazing.
Beautiful. I actually like the modern take on the action movie where they're taking people who do not look like action heroes and making them action
John
heroes.
Wick.
Like John Wick is one. Or I loved Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bob Odenkirk.
Yep.
Did you ever see Guns Akimbo?
Guns Akimbo. I have not.
I call it Harry Potter and the High Octane Match.
You've probably seen images from it,
sure,
even if you haven't seen the movie.
Jesus, that movie's fun.
Guns Akimbo. Okay, the Google machine is going.
He literally gets guns nailed to his hands and is forced to fight in a death match.
Oh, it's great. It's literally Harry Potter. It's Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah.
Yeah, it is so
Reese Darby is in this movie.
Novocaine is in this same vein.
Oh yeah.
Oh sure, yeah. Novocaine would be.
Yeah, people that don't look like they are.
Boondock Saints.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe we talked about Stallone and Schwarzenegger and we got no nods to Twins or Stop or My Mom Will Shoot
or Kindergarten Cop or but I think that I gotta watch this Guns Akimbo. Like this is
so good.
Like what?
Like I put
in the fuck.
I put that one up there with like. Did you ever see Hardcore Henry?
Of course, I saw Hardcore Henry.
Oh, I wanted to vomit the first time I saw that. God, that movie's so good.
The only movie that I think pushed me to I might actually vomit was Serbian Film.
So the only reason I was going to vomit wasn't because it was too bloody. It's because it was like I was getting motion sick watching the fucking movie.
It's like I knew a lot of people that got motion sick at the end of Dune.
Oh sure.
When they go to the point of view thing.
The only good part of the movie.
Yeah, the only part of the movie that is like playable.
Excuse you, sir. Every scene that Carl Urban is in is a masterpiece because it's Carl Urban.
Okay. I'll give you that.
How do you feel like Shoot 'Em Up is one of the ones that I think is a little underrated.
That's
Clive Owen
and Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
It's basically a music video.
Yep.
But it's a really good music video.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half long, fantastic.
Like they do that. They do the scene falling out of the airplane to Ace of Spades by Motorhead. Yeah. And they play the whole fucking song. Like no skipping, no like cutting. It's just Ace of Spades the entire way down. It's like the Freebird scene in Kingsman.
Oh yeah.
Devil's Rejects has it too.
Yeah.
But
Okay, but how do you guys feel about Velocipaster?
Velocipaster
Love
is
it.
right up there with Theodore Rex in the pantheon of perfect dinosaur movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They knew what they were going for. They knew.
They knew exactly what they're doing. Like there was no doubt. It's
I
like
mentioned this because it's been recently announced that they are making a sequel.
Velocipaster 2.
Yes.
I've been waiting for Teeth 2 forever. Like I'm still waiting. Vagina dentata. I mean, it's still one of the best exclamation in all of movies is a dentist yelling vagina dentata at the top of their lungs after getting their fucking fingers bitten off.
Oh, I'm still waiting for the legal issues to stop plaguing Kung Fury 2.
Oh, Kung Fury 2? God.
It looks I watched the 10-minute trailer and it looks fucking incredible. Like Arnold cocking the shotgun 6 different ways.
We need Kung Fury 2. We need the Kung Fu Hustle sequel.
Yeah.
We need all of that to fucking get out of development hell and actually make it to our eye holes. Like, dear God. I love that shit.
And you know, I need another good Terminator movie.
You won't get one.
I won't get one. I need one though. And I'm going to die before that ever happens.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
Like the first one, masterpiece. Second one, somehow even better than the first.
Oh, that I know exactly who you are then. So there's a thing. Do you prefer Alien or Aliens?
Oh, that's a tough one. Because I love Aliens. Because but Alien, I like Alien for the same reason I say The Thing is the greatest horror movie of all time. And it's because of the isolation.
Yeah, Tommy Fresh would agree with you. That is his favorite movie.
It's so good.
It's incredible.
My hot take for this is that I don't think you can compare Alien and Aliens because other than being part of the same franchise, they're entirely different genres.
I don't think you can compare Terminator and Terminator 2 because they're completely different genres.
Different genres, exactly.
One is sci-fi, one is action sci-fi. They are not the same thing.
Right.
Fair. It's just if I got to pick one over the other, I'm taking 2 because 2. I love the interplay between Edward Furlong and Arnold throughout the entire movie. I love that growth of character, which is really rare for any sort of action movie. Character growth, who needs it?
No one. I mean, but they do it in Aliens too.
Yeah.
So you get it there as well.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting because with Alien, I think Alien is a better movie than Aliens
by far.
But I think I would watch Aliens more often. Because it's a nice, good popcorn thing. Any stage of the movie, if I'm flipping channels, anyone does that anymore, I'm showing my age. But if you're flipping channels and you come into Aliens halfway through, you can just sit and watch the rest of it. Also, the one-liners from Aliens are out.
Game over, man. Game over.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
And so I guess the answer to this question is, are you one or the other? I guess my answer would be I'm a Jeanette Goldstein fan. Now, if you're at home and you're going, who the fuck is that? That is the actress that played Vasquez in Aliens, as well as the mother in Terminator 2.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice through line you got there. Yeah, but I think that I like when movies make me uncomfortable. So that's why I love Midsommar. That's why seeing Mother in the theater was one of my favorite experiences in a theater. It's why I will still watch Antichrist, even though that movie is wildly uncomfortable. And it's I like how that makes me feel. I was having a conversation because I went to a haunted house in Minneapolis yesterday actually, and my wife and it was really well done, good production values, everything else, but I could tell it was built for the normies. And it's this is cool, I like all of this, none of this would ever scare me. This was built for the normies. I want something that makes you feel like you are actually trapped and running for your life, or that you're in actual danger. I want that heightened level. That's why I'm staying in the hood in Philadelphia. I just want the discomfort. And although it's Philadelphia, it's almost all hood. But so like in my experience when I used to be a haunted house fan, I used to do it as a part of the cast as a plant, and that was the most fun. Because if 6 people get sent through and there's only 5 people in a group, they would just put me in the group as the 6th, and something horrible would happen to me, and I would get dragged, and then they'd put me through makeup and then put me in another room as a corpse. And that fucked people's heads up really good. They even shot me once, but don't recommend. And but honestly, it's that in movies I like it the same way. I like that discomfort. And that Aliens makes you tense, or Alien just makes you tense up. Terminator makes you tense up because it's the chase. It's the way that that movie is built on the velocity of this thing coming at you. Yeah. And the movie's pace is so good at staying not too fast, but not plotting at all. But and then it will quicken in the drop of a hat, and then slow you back down.
That's kind of how I feel about with The Thing is like
masterpiece.
I've watched The Thing. God, I don't know how many fucking times, and it still scares the shit out of me because first off the costuming, like the costume design, like
which was Rick Baker, wasn't it? I'll look it up really quick.
I believe so. But yeah, the design for all the creatures, like it was incredible. It was just, I've never seen anything even come close to that. And I remember when I first saw it, I was drunk as shit.
That's not a good idea.
Yeah, that was a fucking awful night. Oh boy. Yeah, I didn't go to bed that night. Instead, I found myself at a Denny's at 2 a.m.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Contemplating my life choices.
Trying to find the effects person for this one. Maybe it wasn't Baker. Rick Baker did so many. He did Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Mm-hmm. And is I guess I can do this a different way because we do this live all the time. Effects person, The Thing. Well, that's not good. Who did the creature effects for The Thing? Rob Bottin. Okay, that makes sense too. But that was he literally looked like a rock star. And they based Kurt Russell's look in the movie on just how Rob Bottin looks. Like it literally is the same thing. Yeah. But he did The Fog, he did RoboCop and Total Recall and Seven. So yeah. He also did Legend, so he did the Tim Curry Darkness build. Like that's real. Well, thank you for taking us down that lane. That was actually fun. That was refreshing. But now it's time for listener questions, which are less refreshing. First one's from Quiet Mind 82. If Arachne could create an embodiment of Chaos Token, what would it do? Darick, you're the assassinator. Assassinate us?
Yeah.
So it's interesting because, like, I think the issue with an embodiment of Chaos Token is that you have to assume that the talent isn't just going to be used by assassins.
Right.
Like, yes, we have Marionette. Yes, we have Slip Through the Cracks, and those are our current talented classes, heroes, right? They're assassins, but I have to assume that at some point we're going to, like, man, I hate saying this out loud, right? But like a Chaos Illusionist or, you know, a Chaos Wizard. Like a Chaos Wizard could be a lot of fun. I hate the idea. I hate that it's right up there with Earthbrute in my mind. Like now that I've said it out loud, I don't want to see it, but also I kind of want to see it. So like to me, an embodiment of Chaos Token would almost have to be something that plays into that now. Like what do we even know, the chaos talent is using so far, right? We've got some we have the new thing that's going to become with the slip through the cracks armory deck, right? So like we know in that instance what we have is the meat madness where you choose one at random. And then we have the, get spurlocked card as well as the chaos talent, but we don't have a lot to go on. I feel like, and it's also interesting because I feel like the easy out would be something along the lines of like, for, at the start of your turn, you destroy the token or whatever. And then the first effect you have that has like a randomized effect, like maybe you could choose the result, but that feels too strong.
That
the other
feels
side
really,
is like
really good.
Right. So then the other side is like, maybe you do something with dice, right? Because maybe the other thing is a chaos brute. And so then it could be something where like you could do a +1 or a -1 to a die roll.
Tilt your die. Sure.
Something like that. But it's really hard because we have so little to go on for the actual talent so far. The only other thing that I could think of is maybe instead of a like you choose the result, it's like you can choose one result to exclude.
Okay.
Right? So like if you play like Meat Madness, for example, you could choose like the banish the top card of their deck as the option, and so you for sure are going to get either hand or arsenal, right? You still
what if it was whenever you would make a random choice, randomize twice and choose which result.
I still feel like that's also too strong.
Yeah.
Like
right.
I think
you roll 2 1s is still you're still ending your turn.
Yeah, but you're just like not likely. I think the other reason that I think that the exclude one is potentially better is just because theoretically, like in the future, you could just provide more options as a like way to balance around it. Whereas like the, do 2 randomizations and then like pick the one you want. Meat Madness is a great example, right? It's really hard to not get something there, but
sure.
I don't know. It's hard. What I got out of this question was I now want a Chaos Wizard and a Chaos Brute, and
I don't want either of these things. Chaos Brute would be fine. Chaos Wizard, fuck you.
No more wizards. I fucking hate
we're
wizards.
Done with
No, Chaos Wizards would be fine because everything would just be like you roll a die and then do that much arcane damage.
Oh, so it'd be like kickers in fantasy football. Like it's irrelevant. You're just rolling dice. It doesn't actually matter.
Oh, so most people would do what I do on a scabs roll and roll a fucking 1.
Well, sure, yeah.
Right.
Perfect.
And now what you're thinking, you're like, okay, well then how do you like balance the different tiers though for like blue, yellow, red? And the D&D player in me says, well, that's just a D4, a D6, and a D8. So
that is just a D4, a D6, and a D8.
Let's get this going.
Like, let's get some caltrops in here.
Why not?
Stepping on a D4 is the most pain I've ever had in my life. And I've had kidney stones, broken bones. I will take any of those over stepping on a fucking D4.
You know what? That's what I want to. That's the next wresling spot I want to see. Like, fuck the Legos. Fuck
just
the
D4s.
D4s.
You'll kill somebody.
Hold on. There's somebody on the indies that does that. Actually,
oh my god.
There's an indie bro fucking going down on D4s.
Love it.
Ugh. That would hurt so much. While you look that up, I'm going to go to the next question. This one's from Justin S. Now that we've had time to examine Super Slam, does it feel more like a supplemental set that just happens to be draftable? Personally, it is a really good set, but it didn't feel as cohesive as previous draft sets. I've drafted it once, and I kind of get where you're going with this because the table didn't seem to have any read or rhyme or reason as to what they were doing or getting fed. It just seemed like you could play anything. Your seat kind of didn't matter. Because there's so many reviled and revered specific cards in every set or in every pack plus generics that you can just fill in and it makes it easy. And so I kind of see where you're going with the cohesive part of it. I still thought it was really fun, but I guess your mileage may vary. I know Darick hasn't drafted this set yet, but have you drafted this at all, Vinny?
No, I just did my my pre-release, but even just doing sealed, it was honestly the hardest thing for me was the whole not having a weapon.
Right.
Like I get why they did that, but that fucked with me because I'm like, oh, never mind, I can't do anything.
I can just swing with. Cool.
Never mind.
Yep. And that, yeah, I
Yeah, it's got to make draft really awkward, right?
It makes blocking a very different decision, because damage happens much faster.
Well, sure, but I just mean like, especially in draft where you now know, like, I have no weapon. It's got to like change the prioritization of like what you pick in a pack, right?
Right. But I like I said, it was a I felt like it does make a big difference when you pick in a pack. That much is true. You can't just like grab all the blue block 3s and have a cohesive deck unless you are KO-ish, in which case you can kind of do that. And you can sort of, the only thing you can really pick up on is if you pick up that, like, as an example, that the rest, like the majority of your table is sitting in revered, you can take the reviled cards that get bonuses for attacking revered heroes and just be better on rate than everybody else at the table.
Yep.
So that's one of the things you can pick up on, but there isn't a whole lot to try to read. It just isn't. But not having a weapon, it does really change the decision tree with blocking a ton.
Yeah. I ran into an issue. I was playing RKO and I was trying to do a big setup turn. I was going to clap him back. It was going to be a big turn. I had 7 might tokens and 2 vigor on deck. I face down lethal, have to block, look at my hand. I'm like, I have to let these tokens die.
Right.
So,
and some of those Lyeth and Pleiades turns, which are 20 plus, if they get a chance to let them, if you just don't put enough pressure on them, they just blow you the fuck up. So it's a little bit of that too. Charmer, I think that you'd really enjoy drafting this set. You should do it at Worlds. Next one is from Vintox, which was arcane damage real and did it hurt you? It did not. No. So ProQuest, this past weekend I played Kasai and I decided I don't want to die to Kano. There's always the same 2 donkeys that come in with fucking Kano and I never can dodge them. So you know what? AB4 and Oasis Respite in the board. Let's go. Yep. Fuck them. Added up my blue count in the deck. We're ready to go. Play Verdance round 1. And I'm like, okay, I think that this is an AB1 matchup with Oasises and Shelters and we'll be good. I was incorrect. It should have been AB2. And my opponent took an insanely good line, which was I had 2 Centauri Sellswords out. They had just gotten online with Verdance, and so they played Heartbeat of Candlehold, and then pinged the 3 separate pings, killed a Sellsword, then 1 more ping on a Sellsword, and then attacked me with a blue Fiddlers, so that when it closed the chain and went and he gained the life, he could ping the last health off my Sellsword. And I'm like, that's pretty good. But it was the 3 turns of Channel Broccoli that killed me. Oh. But if I had AB2 in the matchup, I actually can win. Good, I learned a thing. Won my next 2 rounds against a Verdance. Was 2-0 into Syndra's. We'll not talk about the Jarl match because that wasn't close. And then I go and I sit across from the Kano player that I specifically made sure we are boarded and we can just get their ass. And they flip Gravy Bones. And all the cards I took out of my deck to fit the Kano cards were all the cards I had for Gravy Bones.
That donkey.
Motherfucker. But on the bright side, I did make top 4. See, I got my nice little overcrowded right here.
Nice.
Pretty. And lost in the semifinals to that same player. Again, no performance bonuses, no grave keepings, just none of the stuff that I usually have for Gravy Bones because I had AB4 and 2 Oasis Respites. Now, that being said, AB2 and 2 Oasis Respites was exactly correct because that's what I needed for Verdance. And again, went and won the next 2 Verdance matchups. One of them was really weird because he was blocking a lot and early because just preventing on hits or whatever. And he never actually gained a single life the entire game, but he blocked with a bunch of his life gain cards, like the split cards. He blocked with a ton of them. It was not on potions or anything. My third Verdance opponent in Swiss was playing weakest links instead of CNCs. And that fucked me because I draw a hand and it's gas. I have a go against source. I have Eye of Ophidia as a blue to play a draw swords. And I have another blue to just like feed into Brave Forge and Grains. Like we are rolled up and feel real good. And then he sends a weakest link. And now I can't block with 2 cards. So I have to let it hit me. And when I let it hit me, it's going to make me discard my Eye of Ophidia. So my Eye of Ophidia goes in the bin. And my buddy Dagan White sitting next to me, he looks over at our match and goes, "What the fuck is that doing there?" Because my Eye of Ophidia is in the graveyard. And I point to the weakest link at the top of my opponent's graveyard. He's like, "Oh no." I'm like, yeah, that sucked. I was kind of hoping that was going to be a real good thing. And it sure wasn't. So oopsie daisy. But I wound up winning that one. It was really, really rough, but it was funny because Dagan and I were the only 2 Kasai players in the room, and we finished first in semifinals. It's a pretty good conversion rate from what I heard, and we both were playing through Syndras and Verdances the entire day. So I feel good about that list and where it's at. Looks good. So yeah, arcane damage was real, but did not hurt me. So I'm gonna put that out there. Last is from Farcist with Canadian Thanksgiving this past weekend. What are some things you are thankful for, Canadian flavored? Rush.
Oh, God.
I like Rush. Neil Peart specifically. But Rush. Alanis Morissette. Kids in the Hall.
Kids in the Hall. That's a good one. Let's see.
Rick Moranis.
Yeah, Bob and Doug McKenzie. That was where he started.
Yeah, SCTV. Just SCTV.
Yep. God.
Charmer, what are you thankful for, Canadian-wise?
So first, I'm very aware that this is going to sound stereotypical, but maple fucking syrup. Man.
Oh man, maple fucking syrup.
Like,
what about?
We were all thinking.
But like, just give it to me on so many things it doesn't even belong on. Like,
it belongs on everything. What are you fucking talking about?
I know.
Just fucking mainlining that shit.
It's just so good.
Well, let's talk about all dressed chips for just a second.
All dressed chips are also very, very good.
Yeah.
Because we haven't at all, despite my desires, talked about wrestling. I'm going to say Ethan Page and Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green, absolutely. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Okay, I got to say something about Ethan Page. Is one of the sweetest individuals I have ever met, and he plays one of the best heels I've ever seen. He's a fucking asshole.
Most of the best heels in general are usually the coolest ones when you're like in a spot of talking to people. Oh, Charmer did find a fucking clip of a guy going down on D4s. God damn it. I gotta copy this and look at it now. I won't be able to forgive myself if I don't.
Yeah.
So, so you think about guys like Piper, guys Guys like, oh shit, those are D4s. Oh, this is gonna fucking hurt.
Dominic Mysterio.
Dom, yeah, he's supposed to be a really cool guy. Oof, ooh, yeah, he's screaming in real pain. Yeah. And so,
that's what's his name? Brandon Cutler.
Yeah, it's Brandon
That's
Cutler.
his name.
Owens, is one of the sweetest people that you'll ever meet, and an insane heel. John Tenta was, Earthquake Avalanche. He was the Typhoon, I guess, not Avalanche, but like he or was he was like the Shark.
No, he was
Earthquake for sure.
He was.
It was Earthquake and Avalanche then, maybe, or like the Shark or something like that. At any rate.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know. You keep saying Avalanche, and my mind goes to X-Men. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tugboat Typhoon, Earthquake. I want to say Earthquake Avalanche, but John Tenta was supposed to be like one of the sweetest human beings ever, and was played an awesome heel.
Yep.
King Kong Bundy was supposed to be the same way. Now Ric Flair is just a true asshole.
Andre the Giant.
Andre didn't have to try to be a heel. He just had to be like intimidating. He'd have to really try.
What about the Sheik?
I mean, that's just which one? The Sheik or the Iron Sheik?
Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
That's Iron Sheik.
I know. I just
fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Oh God, I love his Twitter was so unhinged.
So
I
good.
missed it every day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I loved it. Yeah, so there was if you want to talk wrestling, we can do that for just a minute before we get out of here. I
was just saying, Ethan Page, Chelsea Green, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, there's a lot of
Lance Storm.
Great. Oh yeah.
The Un-Americans. Yep.
See, there's a part of me that misses going to indie shows, but the thing is, all the people that I followed on the indies, met and had interactions with, they're all signed now and they're killing it. Mm-hmm. Carmelo Hayes, fucking love that guy, and I am so happy to see him just absolutely killing it.
He's a little buried right now, but
I mean, honestly, careers ebb and flow,
sure,
and that's fine. But to see what he did in NXT,
he's great.
Yeah, and I remember him when he was this scrawny little shit out of Chaotic Wrestling. He was wrestling as Christian Casanova.
Great name.
And his I don't know if he still uses it. His scissor kick finisher, he called it Dirty Diana.
That's pretty funny. My God. Well, I think it's time for us to thank some patrons and get out of here. First off, we're going to thank our associate producers, Andy, Sindra, Anthony, Ejor, Jacob, Aladoris, Octothorptopus. I did it. Sofsky, Heiner, and Sleep Coma, and our executive producers, Blaze Storm, value member of the Patreon, Diana the Green Cosplayer, John, then the Delusian data analyst, and then our Chargers Chamber of Charcoal participants. We have Vintox will be on soon. He calls himself the Dystopian Duke today. I don't know what that's all about. The Jackal, he was on last week. Always good to have him around. Brandon, whenever you want, you can come back. Vinny, thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you supporting the show and supporting our stupidity. El Dorte. One more month, babe. One more month, and we get the hammer.
Oh boy.
And that's going to be a fucking wild ride. And then our ceiling fan, the pinnacle of Flesh and Pod fandom, the digital cuck chair, Polish guy Rich. That's going to be a weird fucking episode whenever we do it. I can't wait. It's going to be so bizarre.
What a great name, Ceiling Fan. Just fantastic.
Yeah, my buddy Matt was on a goddamn heater when he came up with that one, because that was the same night that he came up with the Sig Sauer Sommelier, where we're trying to taste gun barrels to find out which one is ours. He said he was on a heater. Also, Charmer's kid came rolling into the restaurant wearing a fucking bucket hat and sunglasses, and so he told Stark, "You look like Hunter S. Thompson took a bath in stem cells," and I almost fell out of my chair. It was close. It was a wild burn.
Yeah.
It was perfectly. It was just executed to perfection.
There's no coming back from
no,
that
you're
one.
done. And he tried.
Yeah,
Stark, bless his heart, as a child, so he doesn't understand when he's dead. And so he kept trying. It's like, nope, you don't have an alley back on this one, kid. You need to take the L and just back on down. Like, you are dead. But yeah, if you want to become a member of our Patreon, go to patreon.com/fleshandpod, links in the show notes, pick a fucking tier of some sort. And then you can come on FAP After Dark, which we'll be doing next week, I believe, and laugh at me trying to learn OBS. Because that is what the entire night is going to be, is me fumbling around trying to learn how to use OBS.
Good luck.
Oh, it's going to be horrible. Some of it might end up on YouTube accidentally because I don't know what I'm doing. If you need to contact us, you can send us an email, fleshandpod@gmail.com. You can find us on BlueSky. Just search Flesh and Pod. Easiest thing to do, click the link in the show notes and join our Discord. It's free. There's a bunch of people in it. They're all talking shit about something. I accidentally clicked in the Chuckles with Charmer channel today. I shouldn't. I shouldn't have, because oh my God, was that awful. It did not take long for me to just hate it. And I even put "I hate it" here as my comment, because the first thing I see was the film Black Panther has a predominantly black cast. It also features Andy Serkis and Martin Freeman, both alumni of Lord of the Rings films. They were, of course, the Tolkien white guys. And Charmer, you need to apologize for that one.
I need Advil.
That's awful. The one that Charmer did do that I thought was great was, I'm no Michelangelo, but I think I might also paint a ceiling later. That one was baller. Wow. That one I laughed out loud.
Wow. Yeah, that one's Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that one was a lot, but I appreciated its intent. So, oh yeah, okay. The 8-6-2 double play was a scoregami. That was one of the wildest things I've ever seen in a baseball game. It was earlier tonight. Vinny, where can they find you?
In the Discord, or on BlueSky.
At Xzarus, Xzarus, because those are letters.
You know what? It was something I came up with years ago, and I was like, we're ride or die. We're sticking with it. And I have to appreciate one thing. You are the first person who's ever pronounced my name, my handle, the right way.
Really?
Come on. Everyone's like tries to pronounce the X. It was like, come on, how many times have you tried to pronounce the X in any fucking word?
X are like G's. X are like G's. They roll in silence.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, even more so, like, what are these people calling the thing from, Alien or Aliens and Xenomorph?
Xenomorph? Yeah, okay. Do you call it Xenogears, the PlayStation RPG?
Oh, what a great
Xenogears is so good.
I gotta fucking play it again. God
yeah,
damn it.
I bought the Final Fantasy Tactics remake, and it is worth every penny. Like, oh my God.
Of course it is.
Yeah, I'm just blasting through the game again. I'm almost to the end of Act 1 again, and I'm just like remembering just how awesome this shit is.
Yeah, there's a reason I have this in my desk.
To play Tactics Advanced?
Yep.
So I also love Final Fantasy Tactics. It is my favorite Final Fantasy game.
Same.
Like, even more so than the main series stuff. I think I love like all of the like side content and whatever.
The job system.
Well, I love the job system. Like, that's my primary reason for loving it. But I just mean in general, when I think about that game, I think about like, unlocking Cloud and Beowulf and doing all of the hidden stuff, right? Like all of that also made me really excited. But there was like an indie dev that made a game recently, and it's oftentimes, well, I say recently, it was probably like 5 years ago now at this point. I'm trying to, 6 years ago. But if you like Final Fantasy Tactics and you can catch it on sale, Fell Seal, Arbiter's Mark is very much in the vein.
Game. Yeah.
All right. I'll put it on the list. Charmer, where can they find you? I didn't forget where we were.
You can find me in the Chuckles with Charmer.
Yeah, you can.
Channel of the Discord.
Jesus fuck.
Join our Discord.
Yeah, and join that channel and just witness
find
the
me
tomfuckery
online looking for Japanese boxes of
the hunted.
Hunted.
Sure. If anybody has any, you can just go ahead and reach out to Charmer directly. I think
because I still need shelters.
I have 6.
So if my cards that are stuck in Ohio get here and I can get 3 shelters, I will actually play Huntsman at an upcoming ProQuest. That is what I'm missing.
Yeah, but like ProQuest season ends in like
3 weeks.
2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. When I was looking on the thing earlier, it looked like I had 3 weeks left.
Maybe it's
But
3.
there's at least one this weekend and one the following weekend that I could possibly attend, but I have to have the stuff to play.
Yeah, I could mail you shelters. You just have to send them back to me when you're done, or bring them to me in Philadelphia when you're done with them.
Don't send them because they'll end up in the black hole.
They'll end up in Ohio.
Right, they'll end up in Ohio. God damn it! How do I send them to specifically not go to Ohio?
I don't know, man.
Oh shit!
You guys are gonna just have to like drive.
I'm missing so
which is Ohio.
Specifically, the stuff that's currently stuck in Ohio that I would need for that list is pain in the backside. But
sure, which I have to. But okay, well, again, thanks everybody for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you again, Vinny, for coming and hanging out with us and supporting the show. Yeah, well, come back next week for 203. Who knows? It might just be a wrestling podcast. Fuck if I know.
Oh no.
Oh no. Bye, everybody.
Bye.